There we are, kind of. Let's see if we can adjust that a little bit. And there we are.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Saturday morning and K-Munin is here, and I can't pronounce this other name.
Homunculus slabs.
Homunculus
Like
slabs.
homunculoid, but with slabs.
Okay. Hello, homunculoid. And then we got Richard. Hey, Richard.
And Johnny.
And we got Johnny.
He wants the crown already.
And we got other people that are here. We got Pastor Rick.
Rick has joined us.
And Deke.
Deke Radio so far.
Hey, Deke, how are you?
People start coming in. Glad you could make it. We appreciate you.
Yes.
As we get going here, we did not do a live last week, but we did two live walkthroughs last week. I did 2 shows.
Hey, Johnny Sachs.
So I did what?
We did the record show.
The record show, the Southern Spin record show, and the Atlanta Comic Con last Sunday as live walkthroughs, live shows, virtual video tours.
Yeah, we went to the comic book show, the record. We had a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time. We haven't been able to go to the Atlanta Comic Con all last year.
Yeah.
Weren't able to go all last year. And so we went this year. I didn't get anything. She did. Yeah. But I didn't get anything because I wasn't feeling it.
I wasn't
Here we go with the crown already.
Yeah, I'm not going to get a crown. I don't want one.
She doesn't.
I mean, my hair is bad enough.
Oh, you're here.
I need to put a crown on it.
There's nothing wrong with her. And Pastor Rick.
Thank you, Pastor Rick.
Made a donation to the cat shelter. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Some of you are aware, and some of you may not be. Earlier last week, we lost Uncle. You remember Uncle Cat with a big 25 pounds of tuxedo was very, very ill. And he didn't make it, unfortunately. He was on his antibiotics. He was on his feline painkillers because he was in a lot of pain. And I was in the habit of getting up routinely. Like every night, I couldn't sleep. I was getting up constantly, checking on him. And one morning, he was just gone. And he didn't make it. And I had to take him away and bury him, unfortunately. So just to update some of you who were wondering about that or who knew about that. Poor uncle passed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I miss him.
Hey, Lyle. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everyone for joining us.
Absolutely. He had oh, thank you, Rich. He says for the kitties. And we take care of a lot of cats. The other cats are fine, Munin. Thank you. Because it's like practically 20 that we're taking care of in the shelter. But he was one of the indoor ones that stayed with us permanent, and he was a happy guy, bouncy, and liked to hide in kitchen cabinets. You'd walk into the kitchen, he'd pop out of a cabinet on you. He would pop out of the cabinet above the refrigerator. It's like, what the hell are you doing up there? It's just a lot of personality. That's a lot of sorry. Yeah, thank you, Rich. He said that's why I said I'm sorry. Yeah, because some of you knew, some of you didn't. But yeah, we lost poor uncle.
Yeah, but back to the show.
Yes,
I wasn't really feeling either of them either.
The shows.
Yeah. We went to the comic book show first, and I went because we didn't go for a while.
Yeah, Johnny, he says he lost his dog 3 months ago. You don't forget. Yeah, they're like family.
They are. I remember when my dog got hit by a car. I was at work, and the people at work, oh, you need to take a couple of days off. I'm like, no, they do that.
Some people do. Some people can't hold it together.
That was the first time I had ever heard that people took off when their pet died. I was like, no, I'm good. I mean, it did take me a while to clean his area up. It did take me like a couple of months.
Eric Reese joining us.
Hey, Eric. But I finally, one day just got up, and because he stayed in the basement while I was at work, so he had a lot of toys and things, and I just went and cleaned it up and threw it out, and the dog bed and that big old container of dog food
Oh
and all of
yeah.
that stuff. But yeah, they get to be a part of the family. So
The shows.
yeah,
Yeah, the comic show. I didn't get anything because I felt like it was a little pricey,
it was.
and I was like, and that's not a bad show. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Comic Con is a small operation, but there's hardly any artist alley. They put all that up front and just
Mm-hmm.
get it out of the way. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
they got, usually it's just people promoting their artists or
Oh, their books.
writers. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
writers, but the so it's pretty solid for being a small show, and it's usually pretty good. Now, Radical Squadron is joining us.
Oh,
They,
SWAT cats.
yeah, SWAT cats.
Okay.
But and if you've never seen me show the book before, I can show you the live action SWAT cats if you've never seen it, Radical Squadron. But yeah, I thought it was kind of pricey, and I didn't want to force myself to buy something because you know how you get into that mindset and like, man, damn it, I came to this show, I'm buying something, I'm not leaving empty-handed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you make yourself get something, and then you regret it because it was either too expensive or it wasn't what you wanted, and I just can't do that. Robert, are you doing it? Yes, Robert. Robert sent us an amazing package
Yes. Oh my God.
to our PO box and surprised
Yes.
us, and we did film that.
Yes.
And I will be actually putting it up on the channel tomorrow.
Yes.
We did film it, and I will put it up tomorrow.
We're not going to spoil it.
We're not going to spoil it.
But I was very, very shocked and
Yes,
happy and surprised.
We were surprised. Robert sent us
thank you.
some real nice surprises there. But so that to me just felt really pricey, and I was like, nah, I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bide my time. There's other shows that are coming up. Yeah, Decab says Atlantic Comic Convention is good for the price. They just refuse to let the show grow.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem.
It's same vendors in the exact same spot.
And I even talked about it on that live because I filmed the shows live. Okay. But Radical says he does Star Trek comics and Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Star Trek, the original. That you got to die to get into that show. Yeah. Someone has to die. Yeah. And I say that tongue in cheek because that's how the last vendor got a spot. Someone got killed in a highway accident on their way to the show to set up. And he got on the phone and says, yeah, because he's got a list of people that want a spot, and got called the next person on the list. Yeah, somebody's not coming. And that's how that person got in and is still on the floor. And so it's literally someone's got to die to get in. But he could, in my opinion, my humble opinion, there are a few changes. There's a little bit of a configuring that could be done to open up a little bit more space. The booth could be moved to the side where the water table is, where you come in and you get your t-shirt and pay. You could put somebody right there. Also, if you put a throughway in the middle of the room, because there's a big gap, make a path right there, and you could get 4 more tables on either 2 on either side, and you could get some more vendors in there. But you know, it is what it is. I think you
should move it all together because it's at a hotel, and it was a free parking hotel, and then now they got a paid parking.
Paid parking.
Sometimes the gate works, and you have to pay. Sometimes the gate doesn't work,
and you don't. Out.
Yeah, so it's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah,
you know. But if he got a bigger venue, you could get way more. I mean, you don't have to get something like gigantic, but just a little bigger with free parking. It's a lot of places around that would love to have a show like that come in there.
There you go, Radical Squadron.
But I don't know.
I got everybody except for Ensign Kim on here. He's the only one I was never able to track down, but everybody else's signature main cast are on here.
Yeah, but the show all in all it's a good show, but you have the same vendors and they have the same books. and everybody knows what everybody's selling. Everybody knows what everybody price is.
Yeah.
And this time, it just felt
off.
more. Now, granted, we haven't been in a year.
True.
In literally a year. The last time we went was in January of 2025. So it's been literally a year. So prices could have been sneaking up, but because we haven't been to any comic book show, we just missed out on that part. So, but I just was like, okay, I'm going because we haven't gone. David needs to film, and I'll just walk around.
Sure.
And then a vendor that we normally buy from, he actually had 2 books I was interested in. And, I looked at them, and then we started talking about something else. And he has some other books that we're making a deal on getting. And then I walked around some more, and I was like, okay, I'll walk around a little bit, and then I'm going to go sit in the lobby. And I was just messing around with this guy boxes, and he was like, you look for anything interesting? And I was like, yeah, crime books, thinking he gonna be like, oh yeah, I didn't bring any. He's like, oh yeah, I got 4 boxes at the end of the table. I went, and he had some good ones, so I picked them up.
Rich, it was free parking, now it's paid parking. I think it's $8.
Yeah.
And the tickets are actually $5 a piece.
Yeah, which is not bad.
You do get a free t-shirt.
You do. So, I mean, all in all, when you round it out compared to other shows, it's still cheaper.
Yes.
But then, you know how you just feel some kind of way, like, man, I got to pay for parking.
Johnny asked about the posters. I have no idea, because I did ask that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I did ask him. And he says, oh, the price ranges is anywhere from $25 to $2,000 a piece. And I'm like, and I had said some things, while I was, because this is a live stream, but I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to be honest. And I was like, people, let me tell you something. None of those are going to be worth $2,000, because I'm standing 10 feet from this table and I could smell the mildew from here. Those were exposed to moisture to the point that they picked up mildew, and you can smell it. And I'm like, plus they're all folded. They were all folded up. So, I mean, if you can get that cleaned out, there's a lot of process you'd have to go through to restore those posters. I guarantee none of them are going to be worth $2,000.
Yeah. Richard, it's the same vendors. There was not a new vendor.
Stock rotates though. Stock
does rotate, but everybody basically got the same book. One vendor moved from their regular spot to another spot. I mean, because you literally know where each vendor posts up.
Usually is going to be.
Yeah. And the one vendor moved. Well, actually 2 vendors moved to a different spot. That was the only change. Outside of that, everything was the same. Everything was the same. But I mean, it's still cool. You look at some books. This one vendor that rarely has romance books had this really nice romance book that I was interested in getting, but I saw the price and I was like, I don't want to pay that. So I just kind of walked on.
Oh no.
But it was fine. And then we went to the record show after, and I got stuck at one table. Guy convinced me to get some stuff, and it wasn't bad, but it was just like, do I really need a whole run of Ohio players?
Yes. Really. Oh, you're on the record show.
Yeah.
And also with the record show, and it's not a knock on CCS, Charlie's Collectible Show, when they're at the VA hall, they get more vendors.
A lot basically, more vendors.
And but the trade-off, and I talked about this on the live stream too, because I did 2 last Sunday, is if you're going to CCS in Stone Mountain, you're getting in for free.
Yeah, it is free.
At the other place, you're going to pay, what is it, $5?
I think it's $5.
Yeah, $5 to get in. But there'll be twice as many vendors at the other venue. That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
So you get more opportunity, more stock, more picking if you go to the VA location.
Yeah.
But if you go to the Charlie's Collectible location, you'll get in free, but less vendors are going to come there.
Yeah, it's like, I think less than quarter of the vendors, because the space isn't there. Because at Charlie's Collectible, you have people that are permanently set up.
Yes.
Because they have
it's like an antique
it's
mall.
like an antique mall of toys. So they also have a place where people play Pokemon cards and Magic the Dragon.
Yeah, they
and
do
all
competitions
kinds of
and stuff there.
Right. So they clear all that out, and then they put the records there. And they do the same thing when they have comic book shows. I went there one weekend and they had a card show. And all they were selling was cards, those Magic the Gathering cards.
And there's a lot of those vendors there.
Yeah. And oh man, the place was jam-packed that day. I didn't know that was going on. I went to actually buy David a birthday or Christmas gift or something. And it was a vendor.
It was birthday.
There.
I know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a vendor was there that I knew had something I wanted, but I didn't get it because one, they wanted too much and then tried to tell me that it was worth something it wasn't. I already knew on eBay what it was worth or what I could get it for. And then it wasn't complete.
No,
so
he had 3D printed parts, which I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I could just get a reprint of a poster I like. Oh, okay, he get reprint.
Yeah, they're
posters.
still talking about those posters because that's a wide range. He was serious.
Yeah,
he wasn't kidding.
And I actually went to that vendor before David got there, and he had literally the posters were like stacked this high. He had them open. He was unfolding them when I got there, and you had to I'm like, are you gonna hang these up? And he's like, no. So you got to, so I'm like, how do you look? So, I'm standing there and I'm kind of pulling up one end. I'm at the top and I'm pulling up one end and there's a guy at the bottom. He's pulling up the bottom. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to mess with this too much because I don't want to tear it.
Yeah, because they were fragile. And I'm just like, they all needed love. And it's like, that was not the guy. My best guess, he found those at an estate sale or in a storage locker buyout or something. And they were all stacked in a box and forgotten for 30 years. And he was just like, oh, these are valuable. Let me take these out. And he's just going to go on eBay and look and see what they're worth if you ask about one. That's the impression I got. But they needed treatment. They needed to be cleaned up. They needed, because they had a strong mildew smell. They needed to be cleaned.
Smelled like smoke.
They needed to be properly rolled. There's a lot. Even if you weren't going to go through the whole cleaning and pressing process with them, which a lot of people can't or can't afford, they at least need some kind of treatment, and that wasn't the guy. You know what Deke says, I heard someone describe CCS as a mini con every weekend. Is that fairly accurate? Well,
I wouldn't say a mini con.
Usually like once a month-ish, they do some kind of show.
Yeah.
They do a theme.
Yeah.
Or they do a competition with their cards, because they do a lot of card games. And I think it's really kind of gone in that direction where when we first went there was more toy vendors.
Hey Bob.
But now there's more so card vendors, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I always classify it as an antique mall of only toys, of just toys
or collectible stuff,
or collectible pop culture type stuff. Every vendor is either selling some type of toy, Magic the Gathering card. Hey Raccoon, you changed your name again. You threw the Ann on the end of it.
Ann is her
actual name. Ann is her name. I know. But it's like that. But like David said, if you go on their website every weekend, basically they're doing something. They have like the outdoor yard sale, outdoor, indoor. They got the record show. They got a comic show. They got the Magic the Gathering going on. Hey, Patrick. they got all kinds of stuff going on. They
Yeah.
got a lot going on.
They do try to keep busy.
So I would, maybe you can call it like a mini con every weekend, because they are doing something basically every weekend. It's only open like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's like a mini. Oh yes, sorry, Stone Sour. Thank you.
Stone Sour made a donation to the channel, and he's joining us today. And Stone Sour, I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you were aware, Uncle did not make it. Uncle, our cat Uncle, who was very ill, he did not make it. Unfortunately, he died a few days ago, early in the morning.
Yeah, but K-Muna says the Pokemon cards aren't moving.
Yeah, and we see a lot of that stuff at the shows, and I don't know anything about it because I've never really been into that, so I don't know how well that stuff sells or not.
Yeah.
I do know that there's a lot of fighting with vendors over that crap. They go to Walmart or Target or whatever, and they stumble over each other, trying to buy up those blocks that they sell, and then those don't sell. So it's like you're fighting over that stuff for nothing, because it doesn't seem like anybody wants any of the modern stuff. Sounds like the same problem with comic books. Well,
from my understanding, within the block, you have like onesie, twosies that are like chases or special or something.
That's the same. That's the same as like any other trading card.
Yeah.
And all anybody wants are the exclusives, and the rest of it they don't give a damn about. Or in the modern comic books, everybody wants the variant covers, and no one wants to buy the regular stock. And then you hear vendors talking about that they're sick of doing it because the variants are the only ones that sell, and then they got 500 copies of whatever comic book, and they got to put them in bins 10 for $1 to get rid of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, Johnny explaining about the posters. I'm pretty sure those were all original.
Yeah, they all look like movie posters, like they came from a theater.
They look like the originals.
Yeah, like maybe somebody worked at a movie theater and then they just kept all of the posters. My question is, do people actually play the game, or do they just collect the cards for fun? I don't know. So is it a game? I don't even know how it goes.
It's like Uno. It's a card game.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's both. Or some people do it for an investment. Radical says Fraggle Rock on the top shelf in the background. Yes, that is almost, I think there's like 1 or 2 missing, complete set of the Tomy Fraggle Rock plush from like 84. And I found all of those at a flea market.
We weren't at a flea market.
Well, we were an outdoor something. It was
out there, a yard sale at the antique mall.
Yeah, well, it was a flea market at the antique mall, the outdoor flea market for the antique mall, and it was original owner. I did a video on those after I got them, because it was one owner and she needed to sell them, and she had this whole story about where she got them, how she got them, and everything. It's talking about them, and I asked her, "Is there a price for the set?" And she was heartbroken to sell them. And then I told her, we're a private toy museum. I'm not going to flip these on eBay. And she grabbed me and hugged me. She was so excited. She was like, "Oh my God, I was hoping something like that would happen." Because, these are I've been holding on to them for decades. These are my childhood pieces. And like I said, told the whole story about getting them on the St. Simon Island. There was a toy store, Father Goose, on St. Simon's Island. And when she'd go to visit her grandparents there, every time she went, they would take her to Father Goose and she could pick one. And that's how she got the whole set. And they're all like mint with tags. They're in fantastic shape. And I got a really, really good price on them. But I was like, no, I'm not going to flip them. I'm really interested in them. And so now they have a nice, safe home right there.
David is seeing more and more collectors switching over to vintage more than modern. I think people are getting sick and tired of the constant cranking out of the modern figures, just too much.
Indeed. Like when we showed that last round of G.I. Joe Classified, and I was like, you do realize this is number 197. And it's like, God, it's only been like what, 3 years or something, or I forget how long GI Joe classified, 3 or 4 years, guys. I don't know. It's like it is. They don't stop. All of these toy lines, the Star Wars Black series, the modern wrestling figures, all of it, they have made more than the original lines ever produced. Yeah. Already, just in a couple of years, they've cranked out more than you got from the original lines, and there's no signs of stopping.
Well, the thing that I see, and it's gonna crash and burn soon. The only people that are still buying toys, well, not 100% only people, but the majority of the people that are buying toys are our age, maybe a little bit younger and a little older. So once that block of people are done buying toys or die off, there's not going to be any more people to buy toys. You know what I mean? So they constantly make these nostalgia toys to pull at your little heartstrings, hoping that people are going to buy them, and they're not putting any heart and feeling into it. So then they're not lasting. People that they're selling to don't want it because it looked like junk. And I think people would be happy to have a newer version, with better articulation and stuff like that, if the quality was good. But the quality is not good. You're using cheap material. You're cranking them out so fast they don't even have time to dry. So you're doing yourself a disservice. You want people to buy this stuff, and you're selling to a group of people, and you're not even making it like what they remember. Yeah, they see it, they see the package, they see the figure, and it's, oh, that's what I remember. And then they open it up and hold it in their hand, and the arms fall off, or the arms fall off in the package.
Yes.
And you're like, yeah, but keep buying our stuff.
Yeah. No quality control, it doesn't seem like at all. And again, if people are going to default, if people are interested in a franchise from the past, no matter how expensive it is, their main interest is going to be in having originals. You know what I mean? It's if when it boils down, 300 years from now, which Masters of the Universe do you think are going to be the most desirable? The ones that were made last week, or the ones that were made in the 80s?
Lau owns a vinyl theater banner measuring 36 by 40, Star Trek Into the Darkness. Frames are difficult to find. I know I'm having a hard time finding sizes. Frames.
Yeah.
I bought back Power Lords
and
Popples again.
Yeah, Popples are coming back.
Yeah.
Loyal Subjects is even trying to revive Holly Hobby.
Yeah, I kind of hope they do, because I want some Holly Hobby in there.
They're not that bad. They're not that expensive, because it's a dead franchise. It's been forgotten.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find them, though.
Like Raggedy. The reason she's having a problem is because she's not looking for the rag dolls. No. The rag dolls you can find easy.
Yeah, I want the carded
She figures. Wants the action figures, because Knickerbocker actually made Holly Hobby 5-inch action figures on the card. Yeah. And that's what she's after. And those are tough to find, but they're not going to redo those. They're going to redo the rag dolls.
Yeah, but I want that garbage.
But yeah, you can find the original rag dolls from Knickerbocker, depending upon the size, because they made them in 5 different sizes, all the way up to 36-inch.
Wow.
Raggedy Ann and Andy too, 5 or 6 sizes. You can find them even in the box up to a certain point, fairly cheap.
Metropolis is the most expensive movie poster ever, selling for $1.2 million.
There you go. And they're talking about anime figures.
Okay.
Here we go.
Do you like some Mezco stuff, some of it?
Robert says he does like some of it.
Oh, I do like Mezco stuff. So David had a big collection, and then he got pissed off.
And I got rid of a bunch. of them. Because I was just having too many problems with them. The Hot Toys, the Mondo Masters of the Universe, because I really liked the sculpts on those, but they were falling apart. And that's what kills me. It's like I'm spending $200-300 on an action figure. You expect it to hold up. You would think. I got stuff from the 60s. I've got my Structo. I've in the toy museum in room 1. The 1935 Structo steel pressed lever action clockwork tank, and the damn thing still works. But you make me a modern action figure and I put it on the shelf, and like 2 months later his hands are falling out of the sockets. I mean, come on.
Robert, most of his stuff is 1/6 scale and NECA. Saturday morning says anime only toy store. Just wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Anime only.
Anime only.
Stores in my area have basically given up on NECA. Only Ross carries them anymore.
No.
We kind of stopped going to the toy section in Walmart.
We stopped going like a couple of years now. We haven't bothered.
Because it's like nothing is there, so we just don't go.
Yeah, no Mighty Max, no Bluebird. Well, Mattel, but Bluebird originally with the Polly Pocket, which then morphed into Mighty Max, and then everybody copied it. Even Captain Crunch had a mail order submarine that was in the same style with the little tiny figure. Star Wars did it, Ninja Turtles did it. Everybody was copying that back in the day.
Extreme Zone, hey, they definitely don't make them like they used to. Not just action figures. You're right. Everything. Everything. Vinyl records, CDs, books, wood. Doesn't matter what it is.
That's true, actually, because there's a difference between you go buy a regular 2x4 and they got the regular pine 2x4 and they got old growth 2x4. Huge difference between the durability of both, and also the old growth termites aren't usually interested in it. That new stuff, they want to grind it up. There's something to think about.
David sold most of his NECA, got tired of the figures snapping right off in the package and falling apart. Just standing on the shelf. What a waste of money. And see, this is the thing. Like I said, I really believe a lot of people wouldn't mind buying the new figures if they held up. Like David just said, those NECA figures are new. They're falling apart, just standing on the shelf. But how many of us got some figures from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and they still holding together? The clothes, isn't like disintegrating. Yeah. The arms are still there. You got to like yank the arms out of the socket.
But like Hot Toys, they got the fake leather clothing on them, and the stuff is shredding.
Yeah,
it's shredding after like a year or two. But then you go to GI Joe 1965 Tank Commander outfit, which is also a leather jacket. It's pleather. It's fake. Go to any show where there is one. It's intact. I guarantee it. Unless some kid really messed it up. Those jackets held up. How come they held up from the 60s with pleather, but Hot Toys puts something pleather out and it disintegrates after a year? Doesn't make any sense.
Slabs like the G.I. Joe classifies. That's his main focus, but you got to be selective. And that's another thing. They come out with it so much. Even if you said, yeah, I do like it, I don't care at all. They come out with it so much at one time, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
So then you got to, wait.
Or they drop a convention exclusive on you, and then aftermarket is the only way you can get it, and it costs a damn fortune.
I thought the Battlestar Galactica figures were cool, especially the plane. But that plane was Viper, like $200.
$250 for the Viper. And the figures 3 3/4 inch, 1/18 scale, GI Joe size, $30 a pop.
What was the original size of the figures?
Same size.
Oh, same size. 3 3/4.
Yeah, okay. 3 3/4 inch. Although they were 5 points articulation, not like 9 or 11, whatever those new ones are. I can't tell.
My Count 80 Sesame Street puppet still here on my shelf, as well as a plush Pac-Man from 82.
Which Count? The one from Child Guidance?
Johnny said, "Tell him about that wood. You never heard that
You never
before."
heard that? Old growth. If you look it up on the internet, old growth versus new growth 2x4, you'll see a picture and you can see the difference even just looking at the two of them, how drastically different the color and the striations and everything on it are.
Even the weight.
Even the weight. The old ones are heavier. And like I said, termites don't like the old wood. They want softer wood. So those new 2x4s are fair game for termites if they get into it. So they're cheating you on that even.
Yeah, they're cheating you. They're cutting corners everywhere you turn.
Yeah, everywhere you turn. Now everybody's going to flip out because I put the crown on. Here it comes.
David is totally correct. My friend collected almost exclusively Hot Toys, and he told me horror stories about outfits disintegrating. Kim, you got I meant to say that you got a new thumbnail. It looks like.
But I mean, like I said, I could go grab any of my 60s G.I. Joe off the shelf right now, fully dressed and everything, and the costume is in great shape. Unless some kid really murdered the thing.
Yeah.
Which is not unlikely. But Robert says he heard the Viper lights up on the inside.
And the thrusters light up.
Okay,
I
so
was
they
wondering
put a battery in
if it lights up.
That's the least they could do. But I mean, you had light up toys and vehicles. Hell, the original TIE Fighter had lights and sounds. And it didn't cost the equivalent of $250 in the 70s and 80s.
Saturday Morning says that is the 73 count.
Okay.
But he's missing his hair.
Oh, no.
Don't get me started on Hot Toys. Had a Captain America headpiece.
Oh, no.
Right off when trying to switch out the heads.
Blue splash. That's too bad.
That's why David stopped with Mondo. He was doing that unboxing and review, and it snapped in his hand out of the box. It snapped in his hand.
That's right. The 30th anniversary He-Man. And when I pulled him out, the torso broke clean in half. And I was like, "Oh, you got to be shitting me!"
Oh, from one piece.
But
okay,
that's that was the last straw because that was the third one in a row with major defects, and that was the worst yet. And they offered to replace the torso. I'm like, "No, I don't think so. I just want a refund." Yeah, and they gave me the refund. I'll give them that.
Yeah,
but they really buried themselves with that.
But in that line, it was a lot of complaints because they had to refund a lot of figures that it broke off.
More than half of their 30th anniversary He-Man snapped in the torso. It broke.
So it's like you spent, I don't know, let's say $250.
Yeah.
And
it's like 300 with tax and shipping.
Yeah, 10,000 people bought it. Now you got to replace 5,000 of them.
Yeah.
You didn't make any money.
No.
Yeah, but that was crazy. But yeah, just the whole collecting thing, in this day and age, with all of the modern, and we're not just talking about toys, we're talking about everything, comic books, we're talking about records, we're talking about spoon sets, whatever you collect, the quality has just gone down so drastically with the type of vinyl you put it on. It starts skipping immediately out of the package. You get it out of the packages already. And then I realized a lot of that has to do with the quality of the stereo system too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got this cheap record player from
Walmart
and you put Target, a brand new record on it kind of skips. But if you get that old record player, plays just fine.
Yeah, if you get a working one from Goodwill from the 70s, it cranks up like it's your best friend.
Yeah.
But the Walmart one is a piece of shit.
And what I was thinking, and I had told somebody this, and think about it. Everybody in the chat, think about it, or people that are watching. When you were little, you had a washing machine. That washing machine, that refrigerator never broke down. It didn't leak. It didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You went to it. It was doing what it was supposed to do, unless you did something stupid. Now you get a brand new washing machine from Home Depot, the Samsung you paid $2,000 for, and you got to hook it up to the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth and all of this right there. And then 3 months later, it's leaking. And they talk about, oh, you need a new seal. And you're like,
how'd that happen?
How'd that happen? The washing machine I had when I was a kid, all the way up until I was 21, it was working when I left home.
You have to,
and now this $2,000 washing machine that I got to hook up to the Wi-Fi and all of that, it's not working.
Saddest example, and you know what I'm talking about too. You will hear in a second because you know the garden hose. You know why she's laughing? Because when we bought this house, okay, the original, this is an original owner house.
One owner house.
And he left his stuff in the house, including his garden hose.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rob. I almost said Robert. Richie made a donation to the channel. Thank you, Richie. The garden hose is the is the original garden hose he bought when he got the house more than 30 years ago, when the house was built.
Yeah.
Still works. No problems with this garden hose.
Not leaking. It doesn't have that big bubble in the middle.
In the last 10 years, I haven't been able to buy a garden hose that's lasted 3 weeks. No matter how expensive it was. It bursts, it leaks, it splits, something. This guy's got a 34-year-old garden hose that's hanging in the garage. Yeah, that one works fine. I use it all the time. I bought it at the same time when they finished building the house. No problems with it. I mean, seriously, that if nothing else tells you that they're all screwing you right now across the board in every industry, that's it. I ought to do a whole video about the freaking garden hose.
The problem with
I can't believe it. I'm like, this works still. This is because he's got a lot of stuff in here that's the original stuff that he bought when he bought the house. When the house was finished being built in like 1989 or whatever, and it still works perfectly.
Even the oven, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get me a brand new oven.
She's got like Brady Bunch looking over and under oven, right?
Man, that oven works so good.
It's got the flip clock built into it, with a little knob and you can hear it clicking all day because it's the drop click like clock on the oven, and it's like, oh, this thing's gonna suck. No, it's perfect.
Man, it warms right up. Yeah. The timer works. It works. And then when we got our other house, the house we had before this, we bought a brand new stove, the stove/oven. Man,
a year later it needs a new circuit board. The damn thing's like $420.
Yeah. The problem with Mondo is they use the cheap stuff. Now, the thing I will say this about Mondo, they weren't bad until they merged with Funko.
Funko.
When they merged with Funko, it really got bad. Yeah, get vinyl record player. Oh, I had a cheap record player that I did too. How to send it back because the speakers blew. I bought a cheap record player from Walmart. Wasn't working. Bought another one from Amazon. This thing didn't even weigh a pound. Wasn't working. I went down to Goodwill, bought an old record player for like, I don't know, $19, I think. All I had to do was put a needle on it. Worked great.
Yeah, no problems.
It's the problems with the Mondo Hot Toys that make me hesitant to buy figures from the 3.0. And there are a few anime figures. Now, I do have some 3.0.
3.0 at least is cheaper.
Yeah.
They're not that, I don't say that expensive, but in comparison to the other companies, they're the least expensive.
Yeah, but I do have some 3-0. Now I have the Transformers. That's the only ones I have. And they got better because I got, okay, the first one I got was the Optimus Prime, and he didn't stand. I mean, you can, but
they're all top heavy.
Yeah, they were top heavy. But by the time they got down to Megatron and Soundwave, they put die casts in the feet so they could stand up. Now they're not that articulate as you see in the pictures, but I mean, you know,
they have all those joints, but good luck.
Yeah, but now, but that's a Transformers figure that's supposed to be metal. If you get one that's like a body style, it might move a little bit better. But I like it, but then I don't do a lot of stuff with my figures. You know, I just set it down and I walk away. I don't care for everything NECA, but they do make good characters. I know, I like that too.
Well,
I love the black and white
Universal monsters. All these companies, it's about the sculpt,
yes,
and not really much else. Unfortunately, that's the problem.
I'll never pay $2,000 for a washing machine either.
Oh yeah, get it at the flea market.
Yeah, you get it at the flea market. At that, I go into Home Depot in the clearance section, the scratch and dent. It worked. It just got a dent on the side. Who's gonna see that? Who cares?
Yeah, nobody cares. Somebody's gonna come to your house. I see that you have a dent on your washing machine. Oh, I knew it.
David, I hear you on that garden hose they came in, and he got a few stories of his own.
That'd be incredible.
Yes, Saturday morning, a refrigerator with a TV and a PC, and it tells you how much food you got in the refrigerator. That's spying.
I hate that. Yeah, I know. That's so Amazon knows what's in your refrigerator. But Retro Hawk says they don't make them like they used to. No, they don't. No. Yeah, that's right. They have the cameras inside so you can look at the screen, or it can tell you on your app if you need milk. Didn't you pick up the jug of milk this morning? Don't you know how much is in there?
You remember when you like, okay, we got to go grocery shopping. Let me get a list. And you walk to the kitchen. You open up the, okay, we out of milk. Let me write that down. Look in the can. Oh, then we low on sugar. Write that down. Oh, yeah, don't forget the bread. Oh, yeah, bread. Write that down. We need some jelly. Write that down.
Now it's, Alexa, what do I need on my shopping list? Oh, I think you are low on bread and milk. Get the hell out of here.
Or she'll say, do you want me to keep a shopping list for you?
Oh, my God.
Do you want to add that to your shopping list? No, I can write it down. Me and David sit down.
Thank you, Stone
When
Sour.
we say we're going to the grocery store, I get the paper and he yells out. Oh yeah, he yells out things and I write it down.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? I know.
They want us to be codependent on an algorithm. That's why, so that we don't think at all.
Extreme Zone says it's because they don't take their time making these things. In the factory, there's always pump them out faster and faster, whatever.
And some of you have seen when I did the video on the Mattel Shogun Godzilla. I did a showcase where it's a clinic where I describe the differences between the 3 American versions and the original Popey, what's called Jumbosaurus Godzilla from the mid-70s, right? And explain the differences. Why do you think there are so many versions? Okay, I mean, yeah, the original Mattel Shogun Godzilla barely looks like the one from you couldn't, if you put them side by side, the only thing that looks similar is the arms. Really, Mattel retooled a lot of it, but they kept changing it. There's 3 specific American versions. There's an early version, slight variants for the first one, but 3 main versions. And they kept changing it because of consumer complaints. Within just, from like 77 to 1980, they made 3 drastic changes because people were saying, hey, there's a problem with this. Hey, there's a problem with that. And Mattel's like, all right, let's fix this. They don't care anymore. They don't care anymore. Something's wrong with it. Oh, boil it. Boil it in some warm water before you try bending the elbows, and they give you all kinds of stuff like that. I don't boil my action figure. Well, what's Rich saying there?
Richard bought $100 record player on Temu that actually has a return arm.
Oh wow.
Whatever, Richard. I don't want to talk to you no more. This live stream.
Oh.
I'm messing with you. No, I bought a
What did you buy?
When after I bought all those cheap record players, and I was like, no, I'm gonna actually get a really good record player. I bought a really good record player, and it doesn't have a return arm.
It doesn't
That's
shut
the
off
only
automatically.
thing about that record player I can say I don't like. It doesn't have a return arm.
You don't want it to keep winding at the end because you wear out your needle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can dig a groove in the record.
Yeah.
What? It does.
No, Munin talking about pops in the clearance aisle. It surprises you?
They always had pops in the but they had them in there for a while. I got the Super 7 reaction typewriter in LPH. I can't believe you don't remember the typewriter. I love it. She
has to see it. If she saw one of the sketches, and that's why I was saying I do have old school Sesame Street, and I want to put it into the rotation. Hold on a second. I can show it to you. I've got it right here, I believe. I got the old school Sesame Street, and I actually have the old school Electric Company, and these are like best of. See, right here. Best of Electric Company. This, I did open
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, this originally was at Barnes and Noble, but the best of the Electric Company with all their best sketches, and then old school Sesame Streets volumes 1 and 2, and this is the 60s and 70s stuff, including the pilot episode, which probably nobody's ever seen. But you know, when you're talking Orange, Oscar the Grouch, Harry Monster, Sam the Robot, stuff like that, and all the classic sketches like the pinball sketch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You remember
the Pointer Sisters?
The Pointer Sisters were singing that, and the typewriters on here, and all of that really amazing stuff that we remember the best. All the pre-Elmo era. They can't put everything because they did like 200 episodes a year, so there's no way
they can make it.
Yeah, there'd be like. This would be like a massive volume set otherwise, but this is good enough right here because this will pull all your heartstrings watching these.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're amazing, as well as this. How imaginative! And this is just basically improv phonics to teach you how to do like sentence structure and enunciation and everything. Which has never been properly duplicated. None of this, but yeah, I want to get this into our rotation, and we'll watch this together because why not? Because we're all about that nostalgia.
Reynard, love your cereal commercials.
Oh, which one?
All of them.
No. I mean, which the one that I just did recently, the 50s and 60s cereals commercials. I had a hard time finding those. But yeah, I put one up just recently. Some of you, if anybody in here is new, I do for nostalgic purposes. I put up blocks of retro commercials or holiday specials that you may have forgotten of. I put up one for the commercials. Hey, Steve. I put up one for holiday commercials for where am I? Okay, the cereal commercials from the 50s and 60s just recently. Forgotten Easter specials with like 70s and 80s Easter commercials, which are hard to find. And then I just did one for St. Patrick's Day, which, man, that's tough because there's like nothing. It's a vintage St. Patrick's Day commercials, but they're also with some specials. And there's Michael. Some of the specials that I wanted to put up, you can't. Like the probably the most famous one is the Rankin Bass Christmas Leprechaun or something like that. And it's a stop motion Rankin Bass one. You can't even put 2 minutes of any of the stop motion Rankin Bass up without some kind of problem with RooTube.
Yeah, not so much a room swap. They have a lobby swap.
Yes.
So in a section at the hotel, in the lobby of the hotel, everybody kind of get together and they do their swap there. So yeah, it's not a room where, like, some of them, I think at Joe Fest, you go from room to room to room.
Yes.
At Toylanta is a lobby swap.
They try to organize it a little bit better, and they set it up in the hotel.
Yeah.
But in a room in the hotel, so that you don't have to run all over the building.
Yeah, you just in the lobby, and you just go in there, and then people are selling their
That's
stuff.
it. Saturday morning, Leprechaun's Christmas Gold. I said it all backwards, but I knew what I was talking about. But yeah, but they if you look it up, if you try to look it up on YouTube, you see a lot of clips, a minute of this, 2 minutes of that, and it's like, I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to get in trouble either. So I found some interesting specials, although the commercials aren't exactly period, because there's just nothing out there. I have probably the biggest commercial block of vintage St. Patrick's commercials on YouTube, and it's barely 20 minutes. Robert, what's a room swap? He says it's where they set up a room in the hotel, like one of their conference rooms or something, and they put tables in it, and people who are staying at the hotel who brought things they want to trade or sell to have extra cash for the show will go there and put their stuff on the table, and when the show closes, they'll come to the hotel and walk around and look and see if there's anything they want. Basically, it's like putting a mini flea market in a conference room in the hotel. There you go. Boxer Richie remembers Easy Reader with Morgan Freeman. And Easy Reader's first comic book appearances in Spidey 1. Spidey Comics #1, based off of the Electric Company show. So there you go. But yeah, I like putting those up. And I got a couple more lined up that I'm going to do here soon. There's nothing for Mother's Day, nothing for Valentine's Day. Specials even that you can even use. I got a Thanksgiving one that I'm assembling that should be pretty interesting. It's going to be a bigger one. It's going to be more than 2 hours, it looks like. So that should be fun. You guys know I did a ton of that stuff for Christmas, which was a lot of fun. Renard says, did you find original Mighty Mouse cartoon collection on DVD? I haven't seen it. Is it out? Is that out yet?
I thought we just saw that.
Mighty Mouse? I don't think so.
I thought we saw it somewhere.
There's been a lot of issues with that over the years because it's that stuff wasn't made for kids. It was movie shorts from theaters from like the 40s, and it was wartime. So he basically spent every episode beating the hell out of Nazi cats, and it's ultra aggressive and violent, and so they don't like it nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna do our DVDs. We did that.
Yeah, well, I could do it again. I mean, I was thinking about doing a walkthrough of your record setup upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Because she's got a lot of, which collectively we have a lot of vinyl records. The majority of it is upstairs. A little bit of it is down here, but the majority of it is upstairs. And there's a lot of LPs, a lot of
45s.
A lot of 45s, almost 1,000 45s, I believe. And a nice record setup, the handmade cabinets for the records, and just walk through and discuss it a little bit. I could do that again as we start doing tours again. I got to do a proper tour of Toy Room 1, and then because here I might as soon as next week, I might be starting construction on Toy Room 2, actually. Yeah, that's what Extreme Zone was just acting. It's work in progress because, we last year was really rough on us. We had a very, very hard time. A lot of things going on, a lot of family issues.
Yeah.
And so, got the lounge is pretty much done. There's just a couple of things need to be done in here. Get some posters up, put up some proper curtains to block out the sunlight. Toy Room 2, This is lounge room. Toy room 1 is pretty much done. Then toy room 2 and 3 need to be done, but completely, like from the studs out. And that's going to be a lot of work, but I might be able to get to that starting next week. And we'll see how far I can get before Toylanta and start getting all of that set up and under construction. Yeah, Bugs Bunny had a Mother's Day special Saturday morning.
Yeah, and they say
good luck putting it on YouTube.
Chipmunks and Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, some of that stuff is very heavily copyright protected.
Yeah, that's another thing that keep you from putting stuff up too. Is so copyright. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask about that K-pop demon. What is that? I'm going to Las Vegas. He
explained it in detail in the comment section.
Oh, okay. I'll go read it.
On the last video.
I'll go read it
Johnny
then.
Did. You didn't see it yet.
I'm going to Las Vegas Comic-Con in April to get signatures for my. Oh, okay, you got the movie poster from that. Isn't that a movie?
Hey,
K-pop demon.
If the TV show, I think, if the dolls are out, you could get them to sign those.
Yeah, or at least sign the box or the
the box, of course, on the window box. Thank you, Unit. Says best luck on the projects.
Yeah. What about Heckle and Jekyll or Baby Huey?
Yeah,
Herman the Mouse.
They don't want you to. They don't want you to see Baby Huey at all either, or Heckle and Jekyll anymore.
Yeah. The artwork in the right corner looks like a poster on the wall. Oh yeah,
that's us. That's
it. Does look like a poster.
You're talking about the the little icon there. Yes, looks like it could be a poster.
Okay, it's a animated movie on Netflix. Okay, the K-pop demon. They got a hot toy of that. Didn't you just show the hot toy
a few weeks ago? The difference, though, of course, if you get it from Mattel, it'll probably be $50 a piece. But if you get it from Hot Toys, it'll be $300.
Yeah, but it'll be 1/6 scale with removable clothes.
Yes, either way. Why you want to undress them?
Movie from Spider-Verse movie team.
Oh my god!
I'm going to try to go to El Paso Comic-Con this year. I live in El Paso. Oh okay.
Michael lives in El Paso.
Paso, Texas.
Check it out and see how it feels.
Hey, Stone Sour's
also in El Paso. Maybe you'll run into each other there.
Yeah, at the show.
Saturday morning says Baby You and Heckle and Jekyll are on Me TV Tunes. Well, yeah, it's Me TV. They strayed away from Baby Huey because they were under the impression, modern people were under the impression it was making fun of people with Down syndrome. Hardly, because Baby Huey used to save everybody by the end of the video.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember Baby Huey.
I don't remember.
They used to play with the Casper tunes.
Oh, okay. I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me.
Okay.
Oddly enough, the K-pop Demon Hunter exclusive shirt is at my GameStop. It's just sitting there.
Oh, is it? Everything is sitting at GameStop. That's why they're facing bankruptcy.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
Well, because all of the video games, and we kind of talked about that in a video that's going to be coming up soon.
We got a bunch of projects and the irons in the fire here.
You went from arcade to home video game, and you had the video game console. Now everything moved from the console to the streaming. Yeah. So you had places like the arcade center. And then when it went to home consoles, then you had places like GameStop and, you had spots in Walmart. Now that's going away because everything is streaming now. And it's like just progressively killing out these cultures. And it's just weird. Yeah,
it is. Because, we, a little preamble there, because we have a video coming up on that. Kind of on that subject. We actually filmed it today. I just don't have a chance to edit it yet. But when they had when home console got to be as good as what you saw in the arcade, that killed the arcade. Because then you could stay home, and that really started with Sega Genesis. The game looked about as good as what you were going to see it in the arcade. Why bother to go?
Yeah, but
And then
go ahead.
and now with the computers and streaming and everything else, you don't even have to buy the cartridges or the discs anymore. So why buy them when you can buy the home system and then just link up and stream or download your game?
Yeah, but when you went to the arcade, you were like king of the
It was a
yeah.
social thing.
You were king of the arcade, and you played your game, and your name was put up on there as the highest score, and people stood around you and they watched you, and you're like, oh, that's Bobby. He's the king of whatever game that is, you know. And then you went to the home system, and now you're playing at home, and you can tell people, oh yeah, I beat Mike Tyson Punch Out or whatever. How they know you did anything? How they know what your highest score was? When you went to the arcade, the the thing saved it. You could put your name on there and all of that.
Yeah, because like for example, yeah, Michael, GameStop. I think they're closing 500 or 600 locations this year.
Wow.
But like Xenophobe, which is awful on the Nintendo, by the way, Xenophobe. But the arcade version of Xenophobe, which was a 3-player game, I was championed at the arcade for being the only person to have ever turned it over. I was really good on the Xenophobe. I rolled that sucker over, and it was forced to restart the system, and that was they were floored, you know. So I was around during that era, and but again, when the arcades at home got as good as or better than the systems that were in the arcade, why bother to go? But then, of course, yeah, it's a cultural thing, so you lose that culture.
Yeah, and I mean, progress is great. But then with all of that progress, now you're taking away all of the social interaction.
True.
Because when you had the arcades, you had to leave your house, go to the arcade, and then you interact with other people. So they might be your friends or just people you saw at the arcade because they didn't go to your school, but you socialized. Then it became a home system. Now you're locked in the house. You don't really go outside anymore. You're not socializing as much. And then it got better and better and better. And then you went to school and you came home and played video games. And now you stream it, so you don't even have to go outside to buy the games anymore.
And if you do competitions on the computer or whatever, you're still not interacting with anybody.
No.
Because you're by yourself there, but there's a different dynamic when you're face to face with people.
Michael still gets the physical copies of the games when he want to. I heard that they banned Speedy Gonzalez.
Renard is saying, Pepe Le Pew, yes, that is true. That is true.
Arcades have been back for a few years now. Most are pay on price at the door for all games on free play. We have 3 here alone. They even made a new arcade games and pinballs. Yeah, we talked about that too because they have a few here.
That's a nostalgic
in Atlanta.
Though. It's a nostalgic tap though. It's not the same type of culture.
Yeah, and it's again just like the toys. It's adults going and you play your little game. You drinking beer and you ain't really doing it like you used to. Yeah. Hey Vic, how are you?
Hercules. It says today's the Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary. Interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. I have some Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo. It's back here because you can see I have actually, if I turn it this way, a lot of vintage consoles and games there. Hey, Jesse, say what?
And then we got Wetzel. Are you talking about Toxic Crusader tonight? If you want to talk about it,
Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger.
I've got the books back there. I've got the poster books, of very rare poster books of Toxic Avengers or Toxic Crusaders. Is it? Yeah, Toxic Crusaders.
I think those are Toxic Crusaders. We got some of the Toxic Avengers comic books. No, and I haven't.
He has the action figures.
No, I have Toxic Crusader action figures.
Yes. Yeah. And I have these. I've shown these before. which are these are like comics.
Toxie was on your thumbnail. Oh no, that was a thumbnail that I did for something else that had Toxic Crusader on it.
See.
We did a video, or I did a video before. And in that video we talked about Toxic Crusader, and David just used that thumbnail. That's why it was on the thumbnail. Not that we're talking about that or anything that's in that thumbnail, because that thumbnail was used for a video pickup. So he just recycled the thumbnail.
Yeah, these are cool though, and you don't find them intact either. And go this way.
Yeah, nobody goes to the theater to watch movies anymore. You save money by just streaming them. And then after COVID, they saw you don't have to. You could just go straight to streaming. I'll get physical versions and digital versions of games. Okay, you get both of them then. It's really Stone Dar. Oh, Mattel Creation site soon. The Stone Dar. I've seen the Toxic Crusaders Blu-ray in the stores a few times. That's a really good cartoon.
That show is funny.
It's funny.
It's really funny, and it's one of those things that's very tongue in cheek, because there are certain things that they say that are obviously adult innuendos that would fly over the head of a child. They wouldn't get the joke. But if you're sitting there as an adult listening to it, you're like, hey, wait a minute. What did he just say? What the hell was that? Like when he was talking about strangling his chicken. It was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you go home? When she was pretending to pick the guy up in the first episode. And he was like, oh, I'm going to, I'll spend about an hour practicing my burping. And then he was like, then what are you going to do? I'll probably spend some time strangling my chicken. And, you know, to a little kid, it's like, what is he talking about? But then you know what he's talking about. I can't believe they let that slide past the network censors for a Saturday morning show.
I don't know. We might go see it.
Robert wants to know if we're going to see the new Motu movie.
Yeah,
it might be interesting to go to the theater and do that. I'm not paying $80-$100 for a popcorn bucket.
No, we won't get a popcorn bucket, but we'll go and sit down probably at a matinee.
Yeah.
And see it.
Yeah, go to the cheap seats. I don't need to see it day of. You know what I mean? I'm not a professional movie critic. Yeah, Saturday morning talking about Pepe Le Pew because they said he was part of rape culture, but Pepe Le Pew used to get his ass kicked in every episode. Even his wife shows up. I talked about this last time. His wife,
live action Speedy Gonzalez. How are you going to do that?
His wife showed up in one episode and caught him up, and he dropped the accent and everything. And she beat him with a rolling pin. So how's that promoting anything like that? Doesn't make any sense. Because
people are sensitive nowadays.
They pretend to be sensitive. They don't really care.
Yeah, because we watch, the vintage wrestling, and a lot of the things those commentators say, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. They could not say that on TV now.
Yeah.
But back in the 70s and 80s, nobody cared.
People weren't offended.
No, they weren't offended because they know they didn't mean it like for real.
Yeah.
They were just saying something to get some, to get people mad and to just say something silly.
Yeah. Or for some kind of controversy or talking points for whatever they were doing.
I failed to obtain a Toxic Avengers popcorn bucket. It would have been perfect. Small waste bin.
Wetzel says. Yeah, I don't want to be chased. I know that's the thing right now.
Yeah.
But I got to wonder if you wait long enough, if all that stuff won't be cheaper, because how many millions of those things are they cranking out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got to sell it on eBay or somewhere sooner or later.
Yeah, it'll bottom out. And so I wonder about that.
Yeah.
What will be the He-Man pocket bucket? Yeah, Castle Grayskull, Skeletor with the hood pops open.
Yeah.
Something you can use your imagination. Ram Man, because his helmet, the way his helmet is shaped, you could pop the top open. I'm sure they could come up with something.
They will come up with something.
Yeah, come up with something that would make sense. Plus other types of merchandising, because there'll be cups with little figures on them, like they did with Superman, plush animals, and I don't know, bunch of junk.
A plushie, what's the cat in the battle cat?
Pieces of polycarb plastic that cost them 15 cents to make that they're going to charge you $75 for.
Yeah.
Basically. Hate to bust your bubble, but that's about what it boils down to. I mean, it might look interesting. Like I was interested by the Herbie bucket because the Fantastic Four movie came out. But I was like, God, how much is that thing? It's almost $100. I'm not buying that because I thought it would be cool because it's almost like a big action figure. It's almost like a half scale of Herbie. The size that it was, oh, that'd be cool. How much? Oh, wait, never mind. I'm not buying that. You know?
Robert said he heard Brooke Hogan is selling feet pictures online because Hulk Hogan didn't leave her anything in his will.
I don't know about that at all.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything, so I don't know.
We don't file up stuff like that anyway, too, here. Maybe but she can go on OnlyFans and
maybe she could
put her feet up there.
Maybe she could work for Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
I joke because that Starfleet Academy. One of the complaints about it is they keep showing these old ladies' feet. There's a lot of shots of looking up shots from the bottom of women's feet over their whole bodies, and the joke is who's got the weird fetish at Paramount that they keep doing this on this show. Well, I haven't seen the show, but I have seen the clips.
I'm trying to read. I don't know what that's talking about. It's like those foam apples from the Sphere, Las Vegas, from the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. They have, it's a wraparound theater where they have enhanced, like Wizard of Oz is one of the movies, where they've enhanced it so there's even a sky over you and the walls come all the way around, so it's like 180 degrees something. And at the point where she's shaking the trees, or the trees are throwing apples, they have foam apples they drop out of the ceilings as souvenirs for the people in the theater, right? But how many times have they done that, and how many thousands of those are out there? But they're selling them online, is what he's suggesting.
Oh, okay. Now I'm tracking. I didn't understand what that meant.
Sure. But yeah, another modern theater gimmick, basically.
Yeah. We don't know if he left or something or not. You can't believe nothing these people say online. I mean, they always say that this happened and that happened, but with all this technology and cell phone and street cameras, you never have a video showing you nothing. How we know that Hulk Hogan didn't leave her nothing? Because she said so?
Who knows?
Yeah. And then so what? Maybe she don't need nothing.
She's waiting for sympathy donations.
Right. Go do a GoFundMe. You'll get something.
Maybe.
I don't want to see anyone's fungus-infected feet.
Well, I don't know what her feet look like. I wouldn't care. I don't want to worry about any of that. Oh, Extreme Zone talking about OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, 50% tax. Hope he does, however. Yeah. I can watch movies on my big wall that I used to use as a screen, make all the couple bags of microwave popcorn, something to drink. Yep. And you'll save yourself a ton of money.
Yeah. But, it's the theater experience. It's not the same as like when we were kids and we used to go to the movie theaters and it was a big deal and you were blown away by what you saw. And now you don't even know if you want to be bothered to go at all.
Yeah.
Because you're like, is this going to, are they going to ruin this too? Like when I was a kid, one of the big ones was Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was in the theaters for 2 years. You realize that it was in the theaters for 2. By the end of the second year, it was dropped down into the discount theaters, but it was still out there. Okay. Nowadays, I mean, they come out with the last one that they just did. It's in the theaters for like 2 weeks because it's bombing drastically because they put all what does Critical Drinker say? The Message all throughout it, and nobody wanted to see that shit. After Harrison Ford whined a million times, oh yeah, they need to just let Indiana Jones go, and I'm not going to do another Indiana Jones. And then Disney was like, how much of a check do you want? And he was like, on second thought, yeah, I'll do one more, because he's a hypocrite. And then they murder it. He helped to destroy really the three big franchises that he's best known for. He destroyed three of his own legacies by taking it one step too far for an extra check. And that was the Star Wars legacy, the Indiana Jones legacy, and the what is it? Blade Runner. Blade Runner. Because those are the three films in the 80s. I mean, I know he was in Star Wars in the 70s, but Empire really opened it up. Remember, in the 80s when Empire came out, those three films were out around the same time. And that propelled him into immortal stardom status back in the day, when being a big actor meant something, and it was more about the actor than the character. Unlike today, when people only give a damn about the character, and the actor they don't even want to hear from, because they say all kinds of dumb crap that nobody wants to listen to. And, well, I don't want to hear your socio-political nonsense. Just play your part. And he was willing to sell out those legacies when the check got big enough, despite what he said. He's in the new Star Wars trilogy. First thing he does is die, because Disney wanted to kill all the legacy characters so that they could start something fresh. And what they started was a bunch of garbage. Nobody likes it.
No, Johnny, we didn't see The King of Arcades. So Johnny's recommending The King of Arcades is on YouTube for everyone to watch. OnlyFans models will have to return to the nightclubs and become workers.
Yeah, I don't know anything about OnlyFans. I have an idea of what it is, but I'm not interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they want you drunk at the theaters.
They want you drunk at the shows too. Seth was telling me that story. I forget where it was. Seth from Sasquatch Toys, and we featured him a few times. We've actually toured his store on this channel. Was talking about some convention he was at that had open bar, and he said that the hotel set it up at the end of every lane in the ballroom, and that the customers and the dealers were all trashed. Everybody was freaking drunk. I was like, oh my God. I bet you could have gotten some good deals.
Yeah. Hollywood eventually ruins every movie and TV show.
Yeah, they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. Certain things, just let it be what it was, because if you're not willing to put in the effort to tap into what made it a cultural phenomenon in the first place, you got no business doing it. All they see are dollar signs. Oh, this movie or made this much money. Oh, let's bring it back. Oh, but let's do this. No, you're going to ruin it. And it can be done right. And I've brought it up before, Cobra Kai, because they wanted to do it right. They wanted to pick it up in a way that it felt like it was left off. They wanted to get in touch with the fans. A lot of the things that they touched on in Cobra Kai were things that fans of the original films had been debating about for decades. And they said, let's lump those together. Like, for example, that it was Danny's fault that the things were happening, which I agree with, that Danny started a lot of the trouble, and that, he should have stayed out of Johnny's business with his girlfriend, that he re-triggered the fight at the Halloween party, because Johnny had forgotten all about him by then. So you can tap into that, what made this a cultural phenomenon, and pick it up from there, and you'll get a good film. I've used Wrath of Khan as an example of that. Wrath of Khan was so good because the chief writer went back and watched every episode of the original Star Trek to get a feel for what made it so important to people, and came up with Wrath of Khan, the best Star Trek film ever made. So good, in fact, Paramount jump started the Star Trek universe again and gave you Next Generation. You wouldn't have had Next Generation if Wrath of Khan wasn't a successful film. It wouldn't have happened. But he cared enough. He didn't sit there and say, "Oh, let me put my twist on it." He didn't sit there and say, "Let me put my political views in it." He sat there and said, "Why do the fans love this? I really don't understand. I better watch all of those shows and get a feel for it," and nailed it. It can be done. It can be done. But these people, they don't care. They're lazy. They want to fill it with agendas. They want a fat paycheck without having to put any effort in it. It's horrible.
They cannot put effort into something of their own creation.
It won't work because the reason that they're doing it that way is they secretly, they know no one wants to see their shit. So they figure that they can tap into a pre-existing audience. But then that pre-existing audience is like, what the hell are you doing? I don't want this. Nobody does. Then you turn around and you attack the fan base. Oh, you're all racist or you're sexist. That's why you don't like what I wrote. Well, maybe you just weren't a good writer.
So what are you going to kill off? C-3PO and R2-D2.
Are they? I don't know, because I only ever saw the first of the new trilogies.
Oh.
I only ever saw the first of the new trilogies. And who did they kill Luke right away. Then in the next film, they killed what? Princess Leia, which they kind of didn't have a choice. She died in real life. And Luke Skywalker. They killed Luke. And that's the plan. They want to erase the legacy characters and replace them and then run off in their own direction. And they've crapped on their own canon over and over and over again in the TV shows.
Saturday morning said Johnny was not the good guy, but Danny did.
Turning on the shower was dumb. Yeah,
was dumb
because Johnny had forgotten about him by then. He didn't care anymore, and then that's why he took that beating. Uh-oh, don't do that.
Oh, okay. When the Cobra Kai comes out on DVD, I'll get it to finish watching it. I'll start it back from the beginning.
Yeah, slow it down
and go back through.
Yeah,
because we watched, I think, seasons 2, 1 through 4.
No, 3, I think.
Yeah, maybe 1 through 3, and that's it. That's the MO. Make a bad film, then proceed to blame fans for not liking it.
And back in the day, you could take it on the chin for that. That's where the Razzies come from. I mean, even Halle Berry accepted her Razzie in person for Catwoman as being one of the worst films of the year. And she was like, hey, you know, sometimes you nail it and sometimes you don't. That was her attitude about it. Not, you know, that was a fantastic film and it was so well acted and written and you all suck. That didn't happen. She didn't happen. She went with it. Hey, yay, man, you know, sometimes you just don't pick a winner. And yeah, Catwoman is kind of silly, I got to admit. And she accepted her Razzie Award.
At least you got something.
Or the Hasty Puddings Award, right? Hasty Puddings from Harvard. But whatever they call it, it's you could admit it. You could admit it once upon a time.
No, we don't
have any on disc, Johnny.
We don't have Cobra Kai at all on disc.
No, we don't.
I haven't even seen it in Walmart.
Haven't you? I don't know. I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed.
We do go and look at the
DVDs occasionally just to see what's available.
Yeah.
You know, what's coming out. Like I saw Rawhide is out there now too. I was like, oh, it'd be great to pick up Rawhide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Rawhide was a fun show. It was well written. And Gunsmoke, but we have Gunsmoke is there. The
Bonanza.
Yeah, Bonanza is out on disc now. And that would be a good one. Magnum PI. It was one that I would like to get.
We were watching it on streaming and then they cut it.
Yeah, they cut it. Frankenfrog has Halle Berry's Catwoman on VHS. She looks good in the outfit. I'll give her that.
Disney is against nostalgia. They are enemy to it.
Yeah, they're an enemy to it.
It seemed like everything Disney touched, they just destroy it.
The Magic Kingdom, the magic is gone.
But it feels like it's on purpose because I can't understand. And maybe it's just me. I really don't understand how you're gonna make a movie constantly as many movies as they've made that failed, and be okay with that. And you're not like, okay, wait a minute, I
We're
had
doing
you on,
something wrong
yeah,
here.
but
Yeah.
like I had you write 3 movies or 3 TV shows, and all of them are bad, you fired. Or the director, you directed 3 movies or 3 TV shows, and they all failed, you fired.
Oh, come on.
You know?
Give me one more chance.
But any other place you go in business, if you're not producing and you're causing the company to lose money, then they'd be like,
You're done.
yeah, we need to talk. After that first one, you might get written up, you get a little warning. Hey, you might want to pick yourself up, get yourself together. You need some time off so you can regroup. Then you come back with the next one. Okay, you got 6 months. That third one, all right, well, we tried. We did all we could. I have Rawhide Complete Series
Johnny's
on
got
DVD.
Rawhide. Oh man. That was a fun show. That was well written. A lot of those 50s and 60s westerns are really well written.
Saturday Morning says the last Muppet special wasn't bad, but Kermit's new voice is pretty rough. It needs some work. But yeah, I always wonder about that when it comes to modern or new TV shows and movies. It's like, are they even trying to make something worth watching? Or they don't care? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, it's all money laundering," and then you got to wonder how true that is. Yeah. Because it's like, how can you just constantly put out bad product and be okay with that?
Yeah, Wetzel says some IP audiences age out like Charlie's Angels. Yeah, but Charlie's Angels was honestly never that good of a show anyways. It was fun for the time, but doesn't need a reboot and doesn't need a movie. The movies were awful. But
did the TV show hold up? Can you sit down today and watch the original Charlie's Angels and be like, oh man, that was good?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I couldn't tell you. But I wonder about that. It's like Three's Company. Could you make a Three's Company movie? Why would you?
Oh no!
Not again Saturday morning. Not another Charlie's Angels reboot.
I would say you're joking, but every time I say you're joking, you're like, no, I'm telling the truth. So I believe you.
Because sometimes it doesn't need to, and it can just sit right where it is. Like, for example, Miami Vice. We're watching Miami Vice right now. It's really well written. It's a good show.
But they did do a movie.
Good acting they did, and the movie wasn't as good.
Yeah, but
and it doesn't need to come back.
But good thing they have not brought it back, because if they came back, Crockett and Tubbs would be women. They would.
Yeah. But the look, the style, the music, everything that it had going for it, the vibe, that's a powerful 80s vibe, but it's really well written too, well acted. And it's like we don't need it back. Blue Splash wants to know if we know Tracy from Needles Toys, a vendor at Joe
Fest.
Needless. Oh, I saw it said Needles.
Probably if we saw them. I know a lot of the vendors, I don't know their name.
We might not know the name, but we might know them on site.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we get a lot of that too, because we see a lot of people, and a lot of people know who we are too.
Yeah. And then we know them once we see them, and we're like, oh yeah, okay, I bought this from you, I bought that from you. I'm like, okay, yeah. No, not by the name. No, and they're doing another Remington Steel.
That's awful.
But and I say it all the time, they're creatively bankrupt. Why can't they just make their own show, come up with their own ideas, their own characters, and then when they put those agendas in it, people won't be as mad because you didn't take a precious character or franchise that they love and then ruin it. You ruined your own thing that you created.
And the stories are there too, if they want them. There's like over 100 Star Wars novels. There's over 100 Star Trek novels, or when they brought back the third trilogy for Star Wars, a lot of people anticipated it was going to be Dark Empire. That's what the fans wanted. I've read Dark Empire, and it's like that would work. That would work. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to make up our own thing. Why would you do that when you've got 100 volumes of canon already that you could pick and choose from that the fans would understand? You're going to make your own thing, appealing to a new or a modern audience. They don't care about this. Or they already know about the old stuff. So even the people you think that you're pandering to are familiar with what you've changed. And even they're like, what are you doing? It doesn't work.
No, they don't need to they don't need to start doing those.
We don't need another Metropolis.
That was good right there. They'll screw that up.
Johnny, they already did that. It was Nosferatu. How did that come out?
Yeah.
Because the original Nosferatu was a silent film classic. Brilliant. And the 70s one even isn't that bad. The 70s Nosferatu is pretty decent, the German one. But then the modern one is just like vampire porn. It's awful.
No, we don't sell at the local shows.
No.
We sold at
we have a couple of times, but rarely.
What's that shit? Retro Toy Swap. On the plus side, no, my mother, the car remake so far.
Don't say that too loud.
Did not go over well people, with fans.
It's not Star Trek. It's like a teen
soap opera,
but with attempts to be humorous, and it's just not flying at all.
We've watched reviews of it, and I don't even know what the show's about.
They don't know what it's about. They're basically saying there is really no plot, so they don't understand what's happening in a lot of it.
It's like a lot of stuff going on, but nothing is going on. And and if you watch soap operas, like the daily ones, there is a lot of stuff going on. But with
building.
But with each thing that's going on, there is a story. And it almost want to feel, now that I'm thinking about it, that's what they're trying to do. Like a daily soap opera where you got this is going on over here, this is going on over there. You got like 5 different things going on, but each one of those things has a plot, and somehow or another they connect. And they're going to connect either if you keep watching next week, by the end of the month, they're going to all come together. But it's a lot of things going on, but there is a plot. This one feels like it's just a lot of things going on with no plot.
Yeah, no plot. It's unfortunate. They're murdering another beloved franchise, basically. We're not going to have nothing left. But and then again, like I've said, you don't have to pay attention to any of the modern stuff. You love Star Trek.
Yeah.
Your favorite thing was DS9. Your favorite thing was the original 60s Star Trek. You can go watch that anytime. You do not have to pay attention to any of the new stuff at all. You love the original trilogy Star Wars? Stick right there. And don't worry about anything they're doing now for Star Wars, because you can always go back to that, which is what we're all about here. I mean, just going back and reviewing that nostalgia and living in that moment and having your little sanctuary and your safe space with all of our vintage movies and TV shows and video games and comics and toys and all of that. If the new stuff doesn't appeal, leave it alone. Leave it alone. You can be happy right there.
Yeah, Seinfeld was about nothing, but it still had a plot. Each episode still had a plot going on.
Yeah.
And it was funny, and none of the characters were likable. You kind of like Kramer a little bit. He was like, I think, the most likable. You know, something I had heard, it was a trivia, I guess a trivia fact.
Okay.
They wanted, what's the guy, the comedian, Chris Rock, to be George Costanza. They solicited him to be George Costanza, and somehow or another he didn't get it. And then they went to Jason Alexander.
I don't think that would have worked. Jason Alexander wasn't a comedian; he was a real actor.
Yeah, I've seen him in some stuff, and he was actually pretty good.
Could really sell a character. Chris Rock is too one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've described him this way. Chris Rock, Will Ferrell, a lot of these guys, they just have a dial. And it's like, basically,
Mm-hmm.
how loud do you want me to be? Because they, no matter how soft or loud they are,
Mm-hmm.
they're still portraying themselves in the exact same
Yeah.
way. They look and sound the same. The facial expressions are the same. Nothing changes except that maybe they're louder or not so loud. That's Will Ferrell in a nutshell. That's Chris Rock in a nutshell. They can't act,
Mm-hmm.
but in some things that really works. In other things, it's terrible. A lot of Saturday Night alumni are like that. Comedians are like that. Very one-dimensional. Chevy Chase never got out of it. Chevy Chase was always Chevy Chase. He never improved.
Eddie Murphy did good.
Eddie Murphy improved.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd improved. Bill Murray. It took Bill Murray a long time. He was not a good actor. He didn't start getting good until like 90s, really 1990s. And then he got much better. He learned. So you can give him that. But you see that. Steve Martin. If Steve Martin was still portraying himself as the wild and crazy guy, he'd be doing nightclubs in front of tens of people in Vegas right now. All right. But he dropped all of that and adapted and learned how to act. And that's why he has a career. But a lot of Saturday Night alumni, they never make that jump.
Now, Jim Carrey has been in some serious movies before he got into comedy. He was in this movie. He wasn't the star. He was in this movie, and I can't remember the name of it. It came out in the 80s, and he was like the oldest son, and he committed suicide. He was suicidal, and he was depressed and everything. And the family was trying. It wasn't about him, but the family was trying to deal with him, and it was about the other kid that was the main star. But in it, Jim Carrey committed suicide by the end. Yeah. But he did that one movie, I think it was called 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like a thriller.
Yeah, some kind of thriller. He did that to try to remind people he could act, but he's too locked into, oh, look, it's Jim Carrey now. Yeah, Robert. Chris Rock will be remembered for the guy who got slapped at the Oscars now.
Oh, Jason Alexander is on Young Sheldon. He's a drama teacher at the school. I can't unsee him as George, even with the Southern accent.
Oh, thank you, Richie. Richie made a donation for the kitties, for our shelter cats.
Robin Williams was able to do comedy and drama.
Yeah.
Yes,
Robin Williams was a good actor, actually. He wasn't a bad actor at all. And Johnny said the new Nosferatu really sucked. Yeah.
You really got to see Robin Williams in Law and Order,
1 hour
Criminal, 1 hour photo, Law and Order, Criminal Intent.
That was a good episode.
That was a very good episode that he played. He played the character on there.
Dr. Cohen.
Oh yeah, hey Dr. Cohen, how are you?
Joining us today.
Oh yeah, you got another nor'easter coming up this week.
Playmates.
Inner Space mini play set today. Plastic is starting to yellow. What do you use? I don't think you can clean that.
I wouldn't. Here's the problem. And people will tell you to use peroxide and then put it in UV light.
Ooh.
Okay. But the color.
Okay.
The discolor. Oh, thank you, Richie. The discoloration will return over time. And there's a risk of it becoming brittle. So I wouldn't mess with those methods. And they also have that peel, and they use that on zombie head Migos, because their faces can turn gray, and they put that solution over, and then you peel it off, and then it's the original color again. In a year or two, that gray will be back. It'll come right back. So those treatments, they're all temporary. Be very careful. Or, you could, if you want to experiment with it, but be very, very careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
in the long run.
What you were saying something? Oh, I forgot.
You lost your train of thought.
Yeah, you were talking
Well,
about
we were talking
something.
about comedians, and you were talking about Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, some movies Robin Williams was in. Yeah, 1 hour photo. He was in that episode of Law and Order not a Criminal Intent. SVU.
Yeah.
It was Law and Order SVU.
Defended himself in court.
Yeah,
that was a good episode.
that was a very good episode. He's been in a lot of good stuff. I mean, he was on if you've ever watched, it's an improv show called Whose Line Is It Anyway? He was on there for a week, and oh, he just killed it. He was on there for a whole week.
He had a lot of experience with that because there was an annual charity event that used to be done primarily in the 90s, and it was a traveling show, and it was Robin Williams and Billy Crystal, and they used to do improv with each other, and they played off of each other perfectly. In one of those, they had Whoopi Goldberg was tagged along with them, okay, who is also a former Saturday Night alumnus, all right, as well as Billy Crystal, although Billy Crystal was into comedic acting prior to Saturday Night Live, but, you know, that's another story. And I saw the three of them on stage, and she could not keep up. She could not keep up. They went right around her. They kept going and kept going and kept going. And she's standing there and she's smiling and she's got the microphone and she couldn't say anything because she could not maintain their pace. Because they didn't need a second to think. Either of them. They could just go. And I remember even when they were on the Tonight Show, because they were talking to Johnny Carson about what they were doing, and Billy Crystal was talking about what they do on the air, and he gets up, and as he stood up, he goes like this, right? He stands up and he just flicks his finger like that, and then Robin jumps up right after him and jumps in on the conversation and cuts him off, and then the two of them start going and going and going right off the top of their heads, and because Robin was watching him and he saw him cue. He was like, "Hey, you know, I could use you here." So he does like that out of the side of his with his hand down at his side, and Robin picked up on that and then jumped in and kept going. But Whoopi Goldberg couldn't do it.
Whoopi Goldberg was a stand-up comedian for a minute.
She was a model back when she looked like a human being. When she was a teenager, she didn't look bad. I don't know what happened. The evil comes out, I guess.
By the time she got to The Color Purple, I don't like calling it, but now but you know how in movies when they want you to look a certain way, they make you look a certain way. So, you know, I was like, well, maybe they just made her to look that way, because then she was in Ghost. I think she did a good job in Ghost. Yeah. You know, she didn't look all that amazing. And then she was Sister Act. The first Sister Act I thought was pretty funny.
They didn't need a sequel.
No, I think they did three.
There's another film that did not need a sequel.
Yeah, the first one was fine, and they could have left it right there. You know, it was funny, and it was fine. They didn't need no more of that. And she was in Jumpin' Jack Flash. I actually saw that. I don't know what that was about.
It was the stupidest thing in the world, because there was supposed to be a clue in the song to some mystery. And
what, Jumpin' Jack by the Rolling Stones?
In the song Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones. And she spent all this time listening to the album over and over again, trying to decipher what Mick Jagger was saying. And any jackass knows you go to the music store and you pick up the songbook. Because they used
That's not what it, because she was on the computer and typing in the computer and somebody would type back.
No, she's listening to the record. Anyone else seen it? She was listening to the record, and they were trying to understand what Mick Jagger was saying, because there was a clue in the song to what they were trying to do, and she couldn't understand him. And I'm like, everybody knows you go to the music store and they sell the songbooks, and you can buy the book and read the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bobcat. Yeah, Bobcat, the guy who talked like you couldn't understand him.
Robert said Whoopi Goldberg was a mortician. She probably was. Who knows?
That's good because she was a stiff on stage. Oh no.
Yeah, I can't make any good movies. She was in some decent ones, and then
Like what she named.
yeah,
That's
then
about it though.
Then it wasn't anymore,
Yeah.
and I don't know what happened. Because, like I said, The Color Purple was good, Ghost was good, those and Sister Act was decent.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad. Now after that,
that's about it.
I don't know any more that she was in that was good.
That's about it. And Saturday
Yeah,
morning said Bobcat's not a direct. You remember Bobcat?
the guy that can't talk.
The guy that
Yeah,
talks like this.
yeah, Bobcat, or
He was
whatever.
in Scrooged.
He was in wasn't he in
Police
them
Academy.
Nerds? Oh, it was
Not Nerds.
Oh, he was
That
Police
wasn't him.
Academy.
He was in
Okay.
Police Academy also.
I knew he was in during that time in one of them
But
movies.
the only actor with a gimmick even worse than that was probably Emo Phillips.
But didn't Bobcat really talk like that?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was his.
I have
Because every
no
time you saw him,
idea.
that's how he talked. So I thought that was his real talking voice.
I don't know. But Emo Phillips was really bad.
I
What's
don't
her
know
name?
Emo.
Sununu. She was awful.
I don't know
This
none of
a
them people.
handful of 80s comedians. It was just like, please get off stage. Don't do that anymore. Or go find something else to do. It's like when Howie Mandel was a prop comic. Unfortunately, he got into real acting and stopped doing that because it was pretty bad.
Oh yeah, he was on St. Elsewhere.
Yes, he became a doctor on St. Elsewhere and dropped the whole stand-up routine completely.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? Well, that's that evolution. If you don't evolve, like I said earlier, Steve Martin, for example, if he was still doing the wild and crazy guy routines or the songs like King Tut or The Jerk, and all of his act looked like that, he wouldn't be working today. Sometimes you need to move back.
Yeah, she after she did that little stint with Ted Danson, I think people stopped taking her seriously.
Yeah, she got Ted Danson into a lot of trouble when they were married.
Yeah.
And then they got divorced, and then she just she got real socio-political and weird.
Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. I ain't heard of them
God,
in a
Steve
long.
Guttenberg, is he alive? Johnny said Steve Guttenberg. He was huge. He did a ton of films, and then he just disappeared. I think Police Academy ruined his career, or just completely sidelined Steve Guttenberg's career. And then he ended up doing like Lifetime made for TV movies. Oh,
Love Bobcat and Scrooge. Need to watch Snake Shakes the Clown.
Shakes the Clown. Oh my God. Short Circuit 40th video with cast. Johnny Five getting used again at cons, but you can tell the voice is older. Really, Saturday morning. That's interesting.
They're putting it back in the theaters. That's the only way people go to the theaters, because they want to experience it on these new systems with 4K, 8K, and these Dolby sound speakers and all of that. And then maybe when you were a kid, you didn't get to see it. Like, I didn't go to the movies a lot when I was a kid. So some things I would like to see, like if Terminator came out, I would like to go, or Aliens, or something like that. I would like,
or The Thing.
Yeah.
Or not it. I mean, it was a made for TV miniseries, but The Thing would be great to see on the big screen again. One that was one guy, as an example, because they're talking about people like Mick Moranis' career was destroyed by Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah. A really, really good actor whose career was destroyed by a movie, but he made a comeback. Would be oh God, what is his name? John Travolta. Because John Travolta, when he did Look Who's Talking, and then Look Who's Talking To, and Look Who Else Is Talking, and when he did that series, it murdered his career. And people forgot how good of an actor he was until he reemerged in Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would touch him. And we're talking about somebody who came off Broadway and was in, never mind Welcome Back, Kotter, but he was a Broadway actor who took Welcome Back, Kotter and walked out on Welcome Back, Kotter. You don't even see him in the last season hardly, but like 2 or 3 episodes, so that he could do Grease and Saturday Night Fever.
I didn't like either one of those movies.
Still, he gave a great performance in them. This is a guy who could really act, and
he was in The Bubble Boy.
Yeah, that was a made-for-TV movie.
Mm-hmm.
But after I almost said Honey and Shrunk the Kids. After he did Look Who's Talking with Roseanne Barr and whoever, it just and they got a lot of star power for it, but it hurt him bad because those were all voiceovers. Like Bruce Willis did a voiceover in one of them. But he was doing the live acting. He was the father of the babies. And it murdered his career until Pulp Fiction. And then everybody's like, yeah, he can act. What else can we do with John Travolta these days? And then he got a whole bunch of movies.
He wasn't bad in that movie. I think it's called The Fanatic. We saw it.
Yeah.
Where he was like a comic book toy. Yeah. Comic book toy collector
Autograph
or something.
hunter, but he had a mental disability.
Yeah, and he killed that guy and all kinds of stuff. His the guy he
kidnapped someone.
But he ended up killing him. That guy died.
That guy escaped.
Oh, I thought he had died.
No, he escaped and he slashed him up. He cut the guy up, but then he went to jail for aggravated assault. The actor. You forgot the end of the film.
I thought he had killed him.
No, he didn't. He convinced him to untie him, and when he did, he got hold of a knife and started jabbing him up. And you remember, because he was one of those people that takes photographs out in the street in Hollywood, and he's like schlepping along, and people thought he was being a zombie and wanted to take pictures with him.
Yeah, we just said that we saw the boy in the bubble, the Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Made for TV movies from, I think, ABC in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw the bubble. We saw the Bubble Boy. It was all right. He wanted to go outside and get out that bubble.
Yeah, which wasn't so easy.
He went to the beach. Him and that girl went to the beach. Yeah. They went to the beach.
He was in a tube. They could have let him float away. Oh no. There was a Bubble Boy on Seinfeld. That's right.
Oh, yeah. He was Gizmo?
Howie did, he did the voiceovers for a lot of characters, Howie Mandel, including Gizmo, which barely a speaking part. It's like Vin Diesel and Groot.
It did Rugrats. I think he was on Rugrats.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know if he was on Rugrats or not.
I don't know.
Because I don't think I ever really watched that.
I never watched it.
Oh, so I couldn't tell you too much about that cartoon at all. My wheelhouse for cartoons is 60s through like maybe mid 90s.
You didn't watch Baby's Kids?
No. No.
I never saw it either.
I didn't watch that. What's wrong with you? I think
that came out in the 90s.
I'd rather watch Space Ghost. I'd rather watch Sunbow G.I. Joe. I'd rather watch Silverhawks. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
We know what's good. We know what's good. And then sometimes you go back and you watch something you watched when you were a kid and you're like, how did I tolerate this? This is awful. Some stuff is good, some isn't. Some things hold up. I think Smurfs holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
The Smurfs are fun. Smurfs are funny. Certain shows like that. I bet you Pac-Man wouldn't hold up. Saturday Morning Pac-Man. I remember
maybe kind of almost watching 1 or 2 episodes. I remember it being on, but not really watching it because I was like, isn't that a video game? And I remember seeing it, but not actually sitting down to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. Or like the original Johnny Quest from the 60s.
Yeah, that was good.
Excellent show. And then the reboot in the 80s, garbage. Absolute garbage. It was terrible. But what are you going to do? I mean, you go, your tastes change. And
Yeah.
then sometimes when you're a kid, you're just happy to see any cartoon. It was part of the Saturday morning era.
Wasn't Mickey Rourke the wrestler?
Yes.
That was a good movie. I like that. It was sad, but I think it covered a professional wrestler's career well.
It captured the ones that didn't become superstars.
Yeah.
It encapsulated them, because you got
it's on Tubi.
You got your huge names like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair,
Yeah,
where everybody knows who they are. But then you've got the guys the jobbers, or the people that were well known but didn't really make any money.
They were well known in their region before it became like nationwide, because before WWF it was just little regions. So you had stars in their region.
They weren't really... Robert, Smurfs from the 80s. I remember Heathcliff.
But you were a star in your region, but sometimes people didn't know you outside of your
of your territory, and some guys didn't travel outside their territory. Yeah. And then what's his name? Abdullah the Butcher is a great example. I have a short on this channel because I saw him selling autographs at a flea market.
Yeah, at the flea market we go to.
Yeah, like a year ago, and he's out there.
Yeah.
Peddling autographs. This is a guy who was in the business 50 years.
So 50
years across a dozen territories.
And Japan, because they said he was big in Japan.
He was big in Japan, and reduced to selling autographs at a flea market because there's no money. There's nothing there. And he would jump back and forth as a main attraction. He didn't stay with the territory because he would come in, stir up mess, and that was part of the gimmick. And then he'd move on to another territory. But I mean, that the wrestler looked at people like this, because there's a lot of them in the industry who gave everything they had, got nothing out of it.
That's a shame. Yeah, because he was at 50 years. So how old was he when we saw him? Because we only saw him a couple, like 2-3 years ago.
Well, it wasn't even that long ago.
No,
but I'm not. Let me see.
No, it wasn't 2-3. It was maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
because we just started going to that flea market. So yeah, it might have been at the most 2 years.
He's 85.
Oh wow.
He's 85.
So he was 80 when we saw him.
Yeah, or
in his 80s.
He's in his 80s currently.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a guy, again, he was in the business 50 years, going to matches, slicing his head open, going back and forth from Japan, Puerto Rico, Europe, all across different territories of the United States. I think he was everywhere but the WWF. I said WWF in the thing because I was just throwing out names of territories without thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't think he ever got the WWF.
He wasn't a WWF because he didn't fit Vince McMahon's profile. Yeah. He was like, I don't want a guy who's blood and guts in here. He ended up with it anyways when he got Mick Foley.
Yeah.
But and Terry Funk too was about as bad. But Abdullah the Butcher, I mean, that's a legacy. That is a massive legacy, to be that long in the business and have that big of an impression. I mean, people hated him. He was always a heel. They hated him, and that's tough to pull off. To draw that kind of ire from a crowd, to be reduced to where he is. That's incredible.
Yeah, Mick Foley and The Undertaker destroyed their bodies for the coming. I saw a documentary with The Undertaker, and he said every joint in his body has been replaced.
Yeah.
I think he also broke every bone. He did an interview, this pastor, guy from Texas, I can't remember his name now, but the guy did an interview with him, I think like about three different interviews with him, and I had watched it. And then on Peacock, they had like a 5-episode documentary of The Undertaker, and I had watched that. And man, the stuff he put himself through to be, to please Vince McMahon was just
At least he got paid for it. Mick wasn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is like Mick's most famous match where he fell from the top of the cage because Undertaker,
and his teeth was coming through his nose, and it was just stuck there like the rest of the match. And
and Undertaker, he didn't get hurt at all, as far as I know, in that match. But Undertaker was pulling 2.3 million, and Mick was pulling 420,000. He was killing himself for nothing. And his wife had said in the interview, she was like, "Yeah, since then, his mind's kind of not there. He's like, we'll be out driving, and he forgets where he's going, doesn't know where he came from. Yeah, it's like he has Alzheimer's now. His mind is already screwed up." But what some of these people give to get next to nothing, and they still come crawling to Vince,
because it's all about the applause. The applause. Yeah. I live for the applause.
I guess so. And what Muna was asking about, no, people aren't watching it. That's why WrestleMania tickets currently are 25% off, apparently, because nobody's buying them.
No.
That's an era that's dying right before our eyes.
Dying. I think it's on life support.
Yeah. The golden age is from 1975 to 1995. And the peak of that is right around WrestleMania 3, I think. We watched the old stuff.
Yeah, David, we were watching the old school wrestling. Peacock had a lot of it. They sold it all, or Netflix took it all. So the only way we can finish watching it now is on Netflix. But on YouTube, a lot of the matches are on YouTube. So we just go through and we save them and watch them. But when we were watching it on Peacock, we were trying to watch them in order.
Some semblance of order, yeah.
And because it is a storyline, and if you miss something and you're like, hey, what are they talking about? When did that happen? And, so you kind of got to watch them in order, but you don't have to, I guess. You kind of figure it out along the way. But it's better when you can watch it in order to follow along with what's going on.
Yeah, because then you want to find out where things happen. Like Hogan started out as a heel, and then suddenly it's Hulkamania, and it's like, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah, but we missed that because you got to watch WWF, NWA, Georgia Championship Wrestling, the Mid-South.
Yeah,
you got to watch all of those territories that they fought in just to keep everything in order. Thank you, Stone Sour. I remember seeing Mick Foley fall
through the cage. He fell off and then he fell through.
Yeah.
He took 2 big falls. And AMH says, doesn't Abdullah have a restaurant?
Yes.
He lost the restaurant.
Yeah.
He no longer has the restaurant. He lost it some time ago.
I think it was in the mall, what's the name of that mall? Oh, it was a ghetto mall too. And when I worked in Atlanta,
oh boy,
it was still open in 2006, and we used to go there for lunch. It was like a soul food restaurant, and it was inside the mall. I can't remember what mall. I think it was. I can't remember the mall name now, but yeah. They had like soul food. It was all right. And everybody used to go there and eat or whatever.
Yeah.
Best vintage wrestling action figure line.
LJN. The one no one could afford. Best play value, even though they weren't articulated.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Fred Ottman tugboat about died from gallbladder rupture inside him, causing internal infection. But he's fine now.
Some of the stuff that these people go through. The abuse that they take to their bodies and everything else, it's incredible. Or even how they abuse themselves trying to stay top of the line so that they could maintain interest in and then they don't give up. Look at Big Show right now. Big Show can barely walk.
Ooh.
He has had, I believe, both hips replaced. It's not working out well at all. I think they had to go back in and shave down one of those joints. And he, when he's not in the ring, he shuffles and walks all hunched like this and like back and forth. He looks awful. He looks like somebody shot him in the back. But he won't quit. He's still hoping he can get a couple of really primo matches in before he officially retires. It's like, dude, you're not going to do it. You're going to look like a fool, like Undertaker. Sometimes you're not going to get it. And Undertaker had that match and kept blowing it. Kept blowing it by making comebacks, thinking something special was going to happen, and the magic's not there anymore, and can't let it go. They just don't know how to let it go. And when they did that match during COVID where they were in like a junkyard or some crap, that was terrible. I know a lot of people liked it, but I thought it was terrible. I didn't care for that at all. It was obviously acted all the way through. It didn't feel like a wrestling match at all. It didn't feel right. AMH wanted to know how the food was. If you ate there.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna get there when you got done.
I'll wrap it up here in a second. But he kept wanting to go back and Roman Reigns, and he said so in the documentary. Undertaker said in the documentary, it really kind of hurt because Roman Reigns said something when they were calling him out for that match, and it was the truth. When he said, when you left your hat and your coat and folded it up and left it in the middle of the ring and walked away, it was a finality to it. It was beautiful. It was perfect. And you keep coming back and you ruined that moment. And even Calloway had to admit he was right. I didn't know he was going to say that, but he was right. But he's still trying to come back. And it's like, dude, you're not going to recapture that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The food was just okay.
I
mean, it was it was like I said, it was soul food. If you've been to a soul food restaurant, I don't think none of it is all that good, because it's not home cooked. You know, it's like greens out of a can. So
Glory. That's right, Glory. They sell those at Family Dollar.
Morning Glory too.
Yeah.
No, it was just all right. It was a soul food restaurant. Yeah. It wasn't nothing to write home about. It was nothing like, man, you need to eat there. His food is just great. Nobody ever said that. It was just okay. But I think K Munin is right here. Yeah. But it's not just wrestlers. I think it's all those stars, actors, musicians. How many musicians you see done dyed their hair jet black and got on these tight pants and facelifts and these chains and rings on every
50 rings, yeah.
And they out there trying to sing and dance around the stage, and it's like, you're not 23 anymore. Your voice doesn't do that anymore. You done yelled and screamed your voice out. Give it up.
Yeah, well, they lived that fast and furious life, and now they broke.
Yeah, or some of them, I think just like that song says, I was joking, but the applause. You have all of those people yelling and screaming your name and clapping and posters on the wall and this and that, and you want and desire that again. You want the girls to scream and lift up their shirts and do all of that and throw their drawers on the stage.
The girls that are watching those shows don't have to lift their shirts up to show their breasts because they're hanging out the bottom of their sweaters at this point.
The Big Show couldn't have a good match when he was 21, much less now.
Stone Sour says, you know what? They overused Big Show by rolling him out over and over and over and over instead of making him a main event sort of thing like they did with Andre. The big trick with Andre was you didn't see him that often.
WWE is nothing these days without Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. They just don't have the star power anymore. Modern wrestling has talent, but don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? That's right. They used to bill him as being Andre the Giant's son.
Davids don't go to soul food restaurants.
I don't want to go to a restaurant anyway. If anybody's going to cook for me, it's going to be my lovely wife.
Yeah, you can't go to a soul food restaurant and get something without meat or at least meat juice in there.
Pork.
So, I don't think I've ever been to a good I know I've never been to a good soul food restaurant. I'm like, man, I want to go back there again. I'd rather cook it at home.
Yeah, my wife is a really good cook, actually, and I like when she cooks for me. Johnny says if I was a wrestler, I'd be David the King. And yeah, I'd have to have Jerry the King Lawler and King Harley race, and the three of us could be a tag team.
The three kings.
Yeah, we three kings. That's what we call ourselves.
Yeah,
too.
the three kings.
And we'd have to have an emperor's match.
Oh boy. Who y'all gonna wrestle against?
Oh, I don't know. A bunch of schmucks. They give us some jobbers out there. Well, Duke of Dorchester. That's an actual wrestler. Look it up. Duke of Dorchester. He was a major jobber, and he put over some big names, though. He was in some matches with some big names. I mean, he looks like he wrestles for a 6-pack and a pizza, but he probably did. He's one of those guys that got paid $150 a night. You know, they weren't making any money. And driving from because he was from actually Dorchester, Massachusetts, driving from there to Madison Square Garden to be in Saturday Night Main Event, putting over Junkyard Dog, who basically just threw him all over the place because he had no offense at all. But the point is, he lived the life, I guess. Saturday Morning says, I need a King of Cartoon, Burger King, and King Randor. Oh no. Hornswoggle. King Hornswoggle. That was that midget, right?
Oh, the midget wrestling?
I think that was a midget.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the early midget wrestler. I don't know about later on, but the early stuff, especially the stuff from the 70s, was hilarious.
I don't think they can do midget wrestling anymore.
Not like that.
I think it would be
not where you have a referee putting a midget over his knee and spanking him like a little kid.
Oh yeah, Doink the Clown.
Yeah, Doink had a midget.
Did he? I have a Doink the Clown figure.
That's Stone Sour's
icon.
That's
icon.
That's his little icon there.
That's Doink the Clown.
Yes,
right there.
Doink the Clown. They did Doink wrong. He got ratted out for smoking a doobie at the during the trials. So McMahon fired him. One of the other wrestlers. Because oh McMahon, guess what I found out? Guess what I found out, McMahon? Because there was a lot of that going on in those days.
Do you have any techno vipers or night creepers?
Night creepers. Techno vipers. You mean the purple one, or you mean the guy with the silver visor? Trying to remember.
The Techno Vipers was the one with the words that came across their islands, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the Techno Viper? You don't have that.
And I'm trying to remember because I do. I have 2 of those.
Oh, you do? I used to like them because the words would go across their visors and it was always something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the purple one.
Techno Viper. Oh, the Techno Viper is the purple one. I do have a couple of those loose.
Oh, okay.
The Techno Viper, yeah. So I do have that. I was trying to remember because in my Terrordrome, I've got a loose Terrordrome set up, and I do have a bunch of figures in there, and there are some cherry perfect condition ones that like you could grade them loose. That it's hard to find those in decent shape. Night creepers, I don't think so.
I don't know what the night creepers are.
They're creepy in there at night.
I guess so.
But anyways. Anyway, what time is it? Oh, it's wow, it got late. But we're gonna go have dinner. And so we're gonna start signing off. Special thanks, of course, to Pastor Rick, to Rich, to Stone Sour for making donations to the channel and helping us out with our feline fund, helping us out with our shelter cats that we take care of. All the help we could get, ladies and gentlemen, always appreciated, appreciated. A lot of stuff coming up this week. A lot of stuff already been up, commercial blocks and vintage cartoon special blocks. I got the cartoons, the animated special for St. Patrick's Day, animated special for Easter, a Saturday morning, like 50s and 60s cereal commercials you probably never saw in your life are already up. Robert online sent us a surprise package, and that unboxing will go up tomorrow. Yeah, Saturday morning I might do. I don't have Dukes of Hazzard cartoon. No, I don't have that. I've got the actual show, but yeah, I'm some more tours that I can do from different areas, and other things that are coming up here in the near future, trying to help the channel to grow. So thank you everybody for joining us here this evening. Hope you had a good time, and we will try to do this again sometime soon.